Many students will go all day without eating food, which isn't healthy. Students need food to fuel their brain to be as productive as possible, especially in later years when they are taking harder classes. Now, these students are given food at school, but in most cases, the food just isn't edible or appealing enough for them to eat. Which is why I'm here to persuade you to allow schools to offer off-campus lunch to students. They should offer off-campus lunch because it'll help better prepare students for their future. It'll help the local businesses, and it'll even help the school with its fundings. Some may say that it'll cause too much liability for the schools if they offer off-campus lunch, but in most cases, people are already leaving campus anyway without them knowing because there hasn't had to be any liability issues. So let's dig in. As I serve you this first point on why we should have off-campus lunch, it's because that it'll help the local businesses. And by local businesses, it'll help the local economy. And by local economy, I mean the local businesses. Students will be forced to go to the restaurants and businesses that are in the direct vicinity of the school because that'll what they'll have time to do to be able to get back to class on time. According to Marlo R. Mira at the Public Health Advocacy Institute, location is a main factor in the pricing of businesses when they go up for sale. And many businesses use the location and the fact that schools have off-campus lunch as a reason for the increase in price. This is because during the school week and during the school year, a majority of their customers will come from the school. Marlo R. Mura also stated that since the school is essentially helping out the small businesses because they're allowing students to go there to eat, that the businesses will more than likely be willing to donate more. The next point that I will dish out to you today is that it'll better help the schools with their fundings. According to a government-run website about the national school lunch programs, 29.7 million students get free lunch or reduced price lunch per day. That same website said that it costs about $13.8 billion to do so. With the lunches being the majority of them being for free and at reduced prices, the schools most likely won't get any compensation for anything. And allowing students to eat off campus will allow for the schools to cut back on the fundings and even for the government to be able to cut back on the fundings that they use for the school lunches. If they decide not to cut back on the fundings, they can do one of two things. They can use the funding somewhere else in the school where they need it, which in most cases is the physical education and the special education department. That, or they can allow for schools that need more funding for their lunches to do so. As I also mentioned before, allowing off-campus lunch will make the local businesses feel more inclined to donate money, which then can also be used in the places that need it. My last point today that we will pass around is that it'll better help prepare students for the real world. According to Natalie Rigoli, the editor-in-chief at connectus.org, allowing students to eat off campus will allow them to better manage their time. They will have to leave school, go to the restaurant they're trying to eat at, account for traffic time and waiting in line time, and allow time for them to eat, all while getting back to school in time for their class to start. They also will be able to be given the option to do what is right. They will have to and students won't have parents, teachers, and other classmates to help keep them on track when they are older, when they're working, or when they're in college. In simple terms, allowing students to eat off campus will better prepare them for the real world than any other simulation that the school could provide. As I conclude here today, let's recap on all that we went over. We went over how eating off campus can allow students to better prepare for the future, how to help the local economy, and how it'll help the school with their fundings. As I leave here today, I hope I have persuaded you as to why schools should be allowed off-campus lunch and how it'll do nothing but benefit the hardworking but hungry students.